Yo. Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show, man. Today is October the 3rd, and we have two game threes in the WNBA playoffs tomorrow. And I wanted to jump into the Las Vegas Aces and the New York Liberty for game number 3. This series has actually kicked my butt, man. If I'm being honest, I was on the under in game 1. And if you watched the video so far, then you know I was on the under in game 1. It went over by half a point, 163.5, ended up on 164. Game 2, I went back to the under because that's typically what cashes when you take the opposite, when you don't take it. And the game goes over, I think, by like 10, 11, 12 points, something like that. I did give out the Liberty game 1 though. So I guess I'm 1-2 on the series. That's nothing to brag about, but looking to jump right into it, man. Last game, like I said, under 164 is what I was on. That was a loser. The WNBA numbers on the playoffs are up to date on the right-hand side. We are 10-4, so still up over 4.5 units. But, man, I honestly feel like I should be undefeated in the WNBA playoffs. But that's just the way it goes. That's the way it goes. Let's jump into game number 3. Let's lock in for game number 3. So we got the Aces on the road. They're getting 2.5 points. This line is moving to 3 at the time of this recording, which is Thursday afternoon, I'm sorry. And the total has moved up just a tad bit. Last game's total was 163.5, 164. And then we're seeing 165.5. I also saw some 166s out there as well. So if you're playing the total shop around, spoiler alert, I'm not touching the total. Nowhere near the total because I probably bet if I want to bet it's going to be an under and it'll probably end up going over. If I bet the over, because the games have been going over, it'll probably go under. So I'm staying away, far away from the total in this game. But let's jump into it, man. We just kind of, recap of what we saw in game 2. Las Vegas specifically, I looked at them, their shooting. They shot 44% from the three-point line. That was one of the reasons why the game went over, because in game 1, they shot 28% from the three-point line. I did expect some regression. I think I talked about that in the game 2 breakdown, but I didn't think that they were going to shoot 44% from the three-point line. So they shot 44% after shooting 28% in game 1. They shot 63% from the free throw line, missing 7 free throws. That was kind of uncharacteristic for the Aces. So that was, not great. But the other thing for the Aces that they did a really good job in outside of shooting the three-point ball was they got 9 offensive rebounds, which I think is an outlier. I talked about the Aces being one of the worst offensive rebounding teams in the league. I think they finished one of the last teams. I mean, besides Asia Wilson, there's not a lot of great rebounders. And then you don't got Kia Stokes because she's been played off the floor because of her offensive lack thereof, I guess, offensive efficient, metrics that, just keep her off the floor because the Liberty were doubling. But 9 offensive rebounds. They actually were a +1 at offensive rebounds. Vegas gave up 20 points in the first half off turnovers before allowing just 2 points in the second half off turnovers. And Coach Becky Hammond was livid. She was extremely frustrated with her players from, just turning the ball over. Vegas only finished with 13 turnovers in the game, but a lot of those came in the first half when they were down. Specifically in that second quarter, they lost 24-13. The other thing that really stood out to me from looking at the box score was points in the paint. I think the Liberty, they continue to, just have more size. They're faster than this Liberty team. Than this Aces team is as well, in my opinion. And that turned out to be a problem because New York dominated points in the paint 44-24. So each game, the Liberty have won the rebounding battle, and each game, the Liberty have won the points in the paint as well. So, yeah, it's an uphill climb for the Liberty. Also, you look at these teams that go down 0-2, they are a combined 0-18 against the 0-18 for the full series as far as winning the game after they go down 8-2. So on the left-hand side, where you see the facts, it's a couple trends in there I wanted to share with you guys just for your handicapping needs. You look at this Liberty team, now 0-5 straight up, 1-3-1 against the number when they're playing against the New York Liberty so far this season. New York, 9-0 straight up this season when they're playing the same team that they previously just beat. So any of these little head-to-head, back-to-back meetings, they've won every single one of them. And the other thing I think is really important to talk about when you talk about the Liberty, I think this might be, I feel like, not getting as much credit or, getting overlooked just a tad bit. The Liberty finished the season 16-4 straight up on the road. 15-5 against the numbers. Both of those were actually the league best. We think about teams covering on the road. And I know a big number, thing that sticks out to me is, looking at the Washington Mystics. This was a really good road team, but they still didn't finish better than the New York Liberty. This Liberty team was the best team on the road. New York also, speaking of road, they went 2-0 straight up, 2-0 against the number in Las Vegas. They were dogs in both of those games, won both of them. So what's the play for the game? You've done a lot of talking, Chris. What's the play? So on the right-hand side, you guys can see that pretty much what I wrote over here is that it's a do-or-die game. And I do feel like, because, round 2, round 3 of the WNBA playoffs is best of 3. So if the Aces lose this game, they're done. Like, the series is over. Somebody said to me in the comment section, they said, Chris, you use numbers too much. The Aces going to win game 2 and a bounce back, take them on the money line. And they did not. Right. And my eyes are kind of telling me that the Liberty, been a better team all season. I think a lot of people are starting to believe that now. But I won't underestimate the heart of a champion here. I do think that the Aces, if they're going to play well at all ever, it's going to be early in this game. You can get that first quarter spread at -1 on a couple books. It's -1.5 on a few other books as well. And I think FanDuel got like a -0.5 a point. So for them to be winning by 1, you will win the bet, but it's juice. It's like -146. So just really kind of depends on how much juice you want to lay. You go back and look at game 2, they were actually winning. We know Alicia Clark came out. She had a couple big jumpers in the first quarter, a couple big 3-pointers to kind of spread the floor for the Aces. They were winning 27-22 at the end of the first quarter. And it was an uphill battle for the Liberty for, majority of the rest of the game because of that. So I think the best play in the game, I really want to fade the Aces again and just take the Liberty and think that they sweep them, but I know it's not necessarily going to be that easy. I think you take the Aces early in this one. If you're going to play anything in this game, Aces first quarter -2.5. Like I said, they're still the defending champs. Don't really want to pick them to win the series. Don't really want to pick them to win the full game. So I'll take the Aces early in this spot. From a trends perspective, what I have here is this is pretty much home favorites that are down 0-2. You can see the number. Well, I didn't put the numbers to this, but this is not a profitable trend as far as full game. Just 2-3 straight up, 2-3 against the number. But first quarter, you can see the first quarter margin, 21.4 points averaged and allowing just 17.2. It's only happened 5 times over the course of the WNBA history, but it says that home team does come out with something early. And that's the way I would like to think about the Aces, is not getting steamrolled and losing. Like I said, I know they're not the better team in my opinion, but I don't think that they'll go down without a fight. I think they bring everything that they have early in this game. So first quarter, first half would be the best play in my opinion. And this is just a trend that kind of bodes well with that. As far as player props, I got 2 here listed. Excuse me. Still not feeling the greatest. I got 2 listed here that I really, really like. And I'll probably play both. It'll probably be a smaller play than the Las Vegas first quarter -1.5. And if I played the player props in game 2, I probably would have been profitable because they did hit. I like Jackie Young to bounce back, and she went up and over that 3-point prop, but I didn't put $1 on it. Here's why I like Stewie to go under her 1.5 threes though. She struggled, if we're being honest, pretty much for the majority of the season to shoot the 3-point ball. She had 2 threes in just 6 of her 19 road games. That's 31.6%. She's 0-2 in games versus Vegas. She stayed under the number in 4 of the 5 games they've played, no matter the venue. So in Vegas so far, hasn't hit 2. Just the series in general, only 1 of the 5 games so far. And then I looked at, she's also hit just 2 threes in 1 of her 4 playoff games. So entirety of her playoffs, the only game she hit 2 threes was the first game against the Aces. She went 0-for-5 from the 3-point line in game number 2. And I just kind of think that she's going to be a lot more assertive and aggressive. I don't think that we'll get Stewie standing around shooting a bunch of jump shots. I think we're going to get Stewie that puts her head down, understands that nobody on the Aces can guard her, and, probably scores a few more points in this game by getting to the rim and putting pressure on the defense. So I really like Breanna Stewart under her 1.5 threes, and I'll be playing that. Also, I'm going to put a play in. I haven't put these in yet, the ones in red, of course. But I'm going to put a play in on Sabrina Ionescu over her 24.5 points plus assists. It was difficult for me to figure out which one I wanted to take. I think if I had to play one or the other, it would probably be her points. Just because we know role players typically don't play as well on the road. So I can see some of the players kind of missing shots and, kind of taking away from her assist line. But, looking at the first two games, game one, it was a big Stewie game. She had 20 points at halftime. I think she finished with 30. 30. I think she finished with 30 on the dot. And then Sabrina had a humongous fourth quarter where I want to say she accounted for like 90+ % of the offense. So, you just think about the minutes. Sabrina probably won't come out the game. If she do, it'll be for a 1 or 2 minute spell. She's played 35+ minutes in both games so far. And in her 5 games so far this year versus the Aces, she's had 27, 26, 18, and 26, and 29. I'm sorry. So 27, 26, 18, 26, and 29 points plus assists. She's going to either clear it or she's going to go far under. When I looked into the game where she only had 18 points and assists, it was the game where A'ja Wilson didn't play that they played in New York. She couldn't hit from 3 in that game. She shot just 1 for 9 from the 3-point line. But if she knocks down a couple of those threes, she probably goes up and over this number as well. She's over in 3 of her 4 playoff games in general, with one game that she missed being game 1, which was against the Atlanta Dream, where they blew the Atlanta Dream out. She only played 26 minutes in that game. So, yeah, you also got the narratives, right? Like, and it's not even that much of a narrative, but Sabrina, you go back to last season, you remember she got her shoes stolen when she was in Vegas. I think it was right before the Commissioner's Cup game or right after the Commissioner's Cup game, and she went crazy in that next game. I can't remember what her stats line was, but I can tell you she went up and over 24.5 points plus assists. I also like, just listening to the post-game interview, her talking about, how they haven't done anything yet. They haven't won anything yet. Sabrina, if you pay attention, she low-key said that they were going, she came flat out and said it. They ain't even low-key. Said they were going to win game 3. So I don't know if a lot of people caught that, but Sabrina, pretty much guaranteed a win. And I think, the offense will run through Sabrina for sure. So I'll take Sabrina up and over her 24.5 points and assists as well. Those will be the 3 plays that I like the most in this game. Nothing for the Aces. A'ja feels like she's just kind of letting the game come to her. They're sending double teams at her. Jocko Jones, a really good defender, but I couldn't talk anybody off playing A'ja. I'm just not sure what's going to happen. Kelsey Plum bounce back game. She did get in foul trouble early. I'm not sure what happens with the Aces, so I stayed off of the Aces. Resources that I use, I always like to shout these out. Referral code CBC will get you 20% off of OzJam, where I use the Sportsbook screen page, but it's a bevy of tools and different resources and just things that you can utilize over there to become a better sports bettor and make you some money too. Arbitrage betting, you name it. Every OzJam has a little bit of everything. Sport, calculators, converters, all those different things. And then Moneyballer, 50% off using code ChrisBeCappinn, 2 P's and 2 N's. The link for both of those are in the description of the video. Moneyballer is a one-stop shop where you can get all of your sports betting, trends, needs, situational spots, stats, all of those different things for a bevy of different sports as well. So definitely check those out. There's a few more, resources at the bottom as well. And that's it, man. If you watched the whole video and you enjoyed it, do me a favor, hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. Link for all my official plays is in the description of the video. Super, super excited to see what happened in these game 3s. And that'll be it for this video, man. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hit the like button for me on your way out. I'm out.